Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Lani Eggertsen-Goff. I am the Director for Housing and Neighborhood Development at Salt Lake City, and we're very happy you could join us. Thanks to NeighborWorks Salt Lake for hosting us. We'll hear more about their work in a few moments. I should have said the one thing: if you need a restroom, through those doors. That's the way, okay? Thank you also to board members for NeighborWorks. Wayne is here, and for the many partners that have joined us. Thank you, Mayor, for your commitment to community and to housing, especially in this critical time. Also, thank you to City Council for providing the funds and working with us every day. This afternoon, we will hear from first Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall, then Maria Garcias, Executive Director for NeighborWorks Salt Lake, and then my colleague Tony Milner, who oversees grant funding from federal, state, and local funding sources. Then after Tony, we will be fielding questions and we'll have one-on-one interview opportunities. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. Just as we've been seeing health regulations and mandates ease in these past few months, we're seeing some federal programs and moratoriums roll back as well. And this is true for the Center of Disease Control's eviction moratorium, which has prevented landlords from evicting tenants who are financially impacted by COVID-19 pandemic, and it's also prevented landlords from foreclosing or lenders rather, from foreclosing on homeowners. Originally slated to expire on December 31st, 2020, the eviction moratorium was extended again, and it will now end in just 1 week on June 30th. Housing has been such a crucial component of combating the COVID-19 pandemic, and this moratorium, just as the moratorium implemented early on by the state of Utah, has provided an opportunity for affected households to address rent and mortgage arrears, giving them time to catch up on payments, and also to access supportive services and resources to help stabilize their income and their housing. Because of these moratoriums, households were able to prevent evictions and foreclosures and remain in their communities. It's important for residents to know that these safeguards will sadly no longer be in place beginning July 1. The expiration of this federal moratorium does not mean, however, that the need for housing support has ended. Far, far from it. Nationally, 1 in 5 renters is behind on rent, and just over 10 million homeowners are behind on mortgage payments today. People of color face even greater hardship, and they're more likely to have deferred or missed payments, putting them at greater risk for eviction and foreclosure. In Utah, an estimated 33,700 Utahns are behind on rent. Fortunately, the city and the state still have mortgage relief and rent relief programs in place to help our residents so that they can remain in their homes, giving them needed stability as they get back on their feet. If your household is behind on rent or mortgage payments, please seek out resources right now. It'll help you become current. Please do not delay. Don't let evictions or foreclosures happen when these resources are ready for you. Communicate to your landlords and your lenders. So many community partners are standing by ready to help. Some of those key partners are here with us today. In Salt Lake City, we've piloted our own mortgage assistance program with the support of NeighborWorks and the Community Development Corporation of Utah, which has helped 29 families in our city stay in their homes, and we hope to reach many more. If you live in Salt Lake City and you need mortgage assistance, I encourage you to call NeighborWorks or the Community Development Corporation of Utah. There are also still millions of federal, local, and private rent relief dollars being administered by the state and our amazing community partners through the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Thousands of families in the state have received rent support so far, and there's still funding to help many more. So you can apply at rentrelief.utah.gov or by calling 211. And if you have been served an eviction notice for failure to pay rent, please communicate with your landlord immediately. If you need mediation services, you can also go through 211. Stable housing is critical to our economy. It's really actually critical to our residents' safety, education, community well-being. Losing housing jeopardizes our health and our employment, our community support, and more. Please reach out if you need financial help. It's there, and our community partners are ready.
Mayor Mendenhall, thank you so much. City staffers, neighbors, and colleagues, thank you for making your way to Guadalupe neighborhood in the Fair Park community. It's another example of Salt Lake City's commitment to serve its residents and engage with their neighborhoods. And if we were better hosts, we would have had popsicles or slushies for you. So next time we'll make sure that we do that. For those of you not familiar with NeighborWorks Salt Lake, our organization was established in 1977 during Mayor Ted Wilson's administration, where he worked with residents and local banks to create a nonprofit community development organization with a primary mission to revitalize neighborhoods experiencing blight and decline as a result of disinvestment and redlining. We opened our doors in 1978 in the East Liberty Park area, and in 1995, our organization was invited into this neighborhood by the residents to help them save their 10-block area. And one of those residents is standing here. I told you I'd pick on you, Robert. Had you driven through the neighborhood in 1995, 1/3 of the homes were either boarded up or abandoned, and vacant lots were dumping grounds for abandoned vehicles or gathering places for drug activity. As a result of our work in this neighborhood, our tagline became Rebuilding Neighborhoods, block by block, house by house, neighbor by neighbor, which is reflected in this beautiful mural behind us that was done by a local graffiti artist. I wanted to share this history to offer insight to our partnership with Salt Lake City, who played an important role in helping create NeighborWorks, first of all, and also helping create CDC of Utah, but also in helping us revitalize this neighborhood over the past decade to reinvest millions in affordable housing, small business development, youth employment, and resident leadership. They had the foresight in 1995 to recognize the potential of this neighborhood, and during the onset of the pandemic, were at the forefront in reaching out to us and other partners on how they could help families who were struggling or needed support. They asked several times, we responded several times, and they listened, and that's why we're here today. We are grateful for the Mortgage Payment Assistance Program and the impact it's made in helping families in Salt Lake City stay in their homes during this most challenging year, and thrilled the support will continue. I want you to know that NeighborWorks Salt Lake and CDC of Utah is here to help. Now, as a staff person of NeighborWorks, we have the benefit and privilege of hearing from many of our customers that benefit, and their gratitude is and appreciation is consistently expressed to us, and we wanted to share that with you today. And I wanted to invite Raul to come up and share his story, because he feels it's important to share his story so that others will be encouraged to benefit from these services. Raul?
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. So, my name is Raul Feliciano, and I have home here in this NeighborWorks. I got a home. I have when my home like 6 years. So, but my experience when the mortgage payment coming when more I needed, because the last year when the pandemic was terrible for me, because I lost my job. So, and then I saving little money. So when the money is everything gone, so the pandemic coming more, but I lost my job. So I don't know, but I needed help. So I come in when NeighborWorks for tell my situation, and they say, "Don't worry, I help you because the pandemic is terrible. It's terrible for everyone. For I don't know all world. So for me, it was terrible because I have family. I have my wife. I for kids. So I don't know how continue support my family. So my experience was really good because when I need more help, the neighbor was helping me because they helped me when my mortgage payment, and I survived. I survived with my family, with my kids, and then continue because I remember the on the last years in April I lost my job, and after the 2 months I was really sick. I was in the hospital, so I got a surgery in my stomach. But I support because I support everything because NeighborWorks was with me when more I needed because uh, I relaxed because they help me for pay the rent, the mortgage payment. So now I good. I got a new job. I continue payments when my payment for my home, but my experience was really good because the help needed when more I needed. Thank you. Oh, ah, mi nombre es Raúl Feliciano. Ah, quiero decirles que mi experiencia estuvo muy bien porque la ayuda vino cuando más la necesité. Yo perdí mi trabajo por causa de la pandemia, estuvo terrible y ahorré un poco de dinero, pero pues se me iba acabando, no encontraba trabajo y pues vine aquí a NeighborWorks. Les expliqué mi situación y ellos me dijeron, no te preocupes, te vamos a ayudar porque sabemos lo que estás pasando. Tengo mi esposa y 4 niños y no hallaba cómo continuar porque yo soy cabeza de familia, tengo que soportar yo soy el que llevo el soporte en la casa, yo trabajo, mi esposa está en casa cuidando a los niños. Y pues fue una gran experiencia porque en el mes de abril yo recuerdo que perdí mi trabajo, después de 2 meses estuve en el hospital, tuve una cirugía, pero pues la ayuda vino cuando más necesité porque no me preocupaba tanto por la renta porque era una gran ayuda porque NeighborWorks estuvo conmigo, pues estuvo siempre conmigo y me sentí más aliviado en esa forma porque fue una gran experiencia. Y ahora tengo un nuevo trabajo, ya estamos todos al regular, la pandemia ya se está acabando, gracias a Dios. Y gracias a NeighborWorks por help me, por ayudarme cuando más lo necesité. Gracias.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Milner. I'm the Policy and Program Manager at the Salt Lake City in the Housing and Neighborhood Development Office. I want to extend my huge appreciation to Mayor Mendenhall and to Maria, and especially to Raul for sharing your story. Thank you so much. It's good to hear the good work that goes on at these organizations, and so it's good to highlight all the amazing work that you have been doing over the past year to stabilize households, but then also the ongoing long-term commitment to low-income homeowners in our community. So thank you, both NeighborWorks and CDCU. Thank you so much for all you guys do for our community. In fact, this kind of brings me to a point, which is that Maria and Mike's team are basically unsung community heroes, frontline workers who have been working hard this whole time during the pandemic. I don't think you guys get enough credit for how much you guys quickly pivoted and increased your services to meet the increase in demand for households to stabilize them. Other agencies that do basic needs and other homeless services and housing services did as well. And I think we really need to start recognizing all the amazing frontline nonprofit workers who work tirelessly over the past year. So in fact, can you guys do me a huge favor and do a round of applause? So at the city, we're honored to be part of such a committed and mission-driven organizations like these, who have stepped up and stepped in times of need to help improve the lives of Salt Lake City's residents. In fact, speaking of the city, some of our staff are here from Community and Neighborhoods and Housing and Neighborhood Development Division, and I'd also like to extend my deep appreciation to them as well, working extremely hard over the past year to administer grant funds for emergency programs like this. Please know how much you are greatly appreciated. Also, thanks to the leadership at the city and to the mayor's office and to the council for your direction and vision regarding housing stability resources, which I'll talk about in just a moment. As said, the federal moratorium is ending at the end of June. Over the past year, there have been multiple federal and local moratoriums and extensions. These moratoriums played an important role in our local COVID response to combat the absolute disruption to houses and their income that COVID presented. Workers like Raul were laid off, businesses were shuttered, schools and child care centers were closed, senior centers were closed, health officials advised that everyone, as much as possible, stay home to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Many families were faced with situations where they've never had to experience these things before, accessing a food bank, asking for help with utilities and rent. How scary that must have been for them to seek those things in the middle of a pandemic. The moratorium allowed a pause to let people adjust and regroup, providing critical time for them to catch up with their payments. So during the pandemic and the moratorium, we know that many landlords worked with their tenants on delayed payments, payment plans, and we greatly appreciate those landlords who recognize this unprecedented financial situation that COVID placed on families and individuals. So as we enter this new phase of the recovery, let us not forget, homes became everything for us. Home offices, home daycare, home school, home senior center, home church. We stopped eating out, we cooked at home, we had food delivered. Everything, we used it to quarantine if we thought that we were sick, or if we were sick, we used it to recover, us and our families. Housing became a crucial component to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me say that again. Housing became a crucial component to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. There were so many unknowns during the pandemic, except for one overwhelming advice from health officials that for as many people as possible to please self-isolate in their own homes or apartments and therefore slow or prevent the spread of the virus. So now the moratoriums are concluding. They may be extended, we'll see, but now is the time for households to come current with their payments. The moratoriums did not forgive any payments. Payments are still due, but they did allow for a really important pause for tenants and homeowners to catch up. So the best outcome for everyone is for tenants, for homeowners, for landlords, for lenders, or for both parties to become whole with payments. So our message to the public is, if you're behind in payments or have received an eviction notice or foreclosure notice, do not wait. Seek services immediately. Keep all the documentation that you've been given or you've received. Communicate with your landlord and lender immediately. Resources are available. Seek them out. Become stable. Stay in your place. So some resources to mention, again, highlighting the amazing organizations behind me, NeighborWorks Salt Lake and the Community Development Corporation of Utah. Please reach out to them directly if you live inside Salt Lake City and need mortgage assistance or come current with your mortgage payments. If you live outside of Salt Lake City, and you need help with your mortgage payments, please call 211. Also call up your lender, talk to your lender and explain the situation. As for rent assistance, the best option is to go through the online state portal run by Department of Workforce Services. It's really easy. It's rentrelief.utah.gov. This is the partnership that Salt Lake City has been funneling our received emergency treasury dollars for rent assistance into this program. Money is available in Salt Lake City, Salt Lake County, statewide. Please, please, please tap into that, which also covers back rent as well. I also want to give a shout out to Utah Community Action, which is a main partner here in Salt Lake Valley. They do special programs for homelessness. They have special pots of program dollars for populations to, again, either rehouse them or stabilize them in their housing. Plus, they do tenant-landlord mediation as well. Their phone number is 801-359-2444. And then some additional mediation services are People's Legal Aid and then also Utah Legal Services. Again, these are great tools to kind of have landlords and tenants communicate to each other to mediate, so that way households are not being evicted. So again, in summary, the federal eviction and foreclosure moratoriums are scheduled to end at the end of June. Housing stability resources are available now, and we encourage residents to seek out these services so they can become current with their payments and stay in their homes, and as the mayor said, most importantly, stay in their communities. So thank you, everyone. This concludes this press event. We're available to stick around, the mayor, Maria, Mike as well, for questions. Thanks again so much for NeighborWorks for hosting this event. Please know how much we greatly appreciate you. And thank you, everyone, for coming out today.